What's up guys, welcome to a new video. In this video I'm going to show you how to create an intro for in this case, YouTube show. Last week I showed you how to create a jingle. Today we're going to use this jingle and create the visuals for the jingle, which will result in the intro. So if you haven't watched a jingle tutorial already, be sure to do that first by clicking up here, because in this video we're going to use that jingle as a base to create the intro. So this upcoming series this jingle and intro is about is called Filmmaking Friday. So as the title says, it's a show about teaching people some filmmaking. So in this intro I wanted to show the journey from a beginner filmmaker to becoming a pro filmmaker. So I had the idea that in the end we have a beginner DSLR transform in a professional cinema camera, and I wanted to do that while spinning it on a tripod. First I listened to the jingle, actually a couple of times, and tried to think of all the sounds that I hear. For that I also went into the original Logic file to really see the single sounds by themselves. As I already stated in the jingle video, we created this jingle on the 1st of January of 2021, and this intro was created just a few months ago in July of 2023. Also, when I ordered the FX6 back in 2022, I wanted to wait until it arrived for the camera transformation at the end, but who could have known that it would take 10 months to arrive. And then I had to wait again to create the intro because of moving into a new office. Anyways, shut up, we're here now. I just wanted to say why I first had to get back into this jingle, because it just was a long time ago for me. I listened to all the sounds and made some notes on which shots I want to get for each of the sounds. Like for example, putting a lens onto the camera, turning this wheel, the flash, some zooming, the shutter, and so on. After I had my shot list, we come to the shooting. And I wanted to give this intro my all. Not just because it's an intro we're going to see many times because it's at the beginning of each episode, but also because it took me so long to finally create the series, create the jingle, the intro. After taking so long, I wanted to do it right. So of course I wanted to have some cinematic lighting, good composition, and also some slight nice camera moves. Shouldn't that be the goal for every video? Anyways, so I started with the most important part for me, which was the camera transition at the end. For this I took my Manfrotto video tripod, set it up in front of my workbench, loosened all the screws to make it pan around real fast, and also marked and stuck it to the ground with some gaffer tape to secure it and not mess up the placement of the tripod while changing the camera, because of course it has to stay in the same place for this effect to work. First I tried lighting the camera from the side with my Godox SL60W and the Aperture Light Dome Mini 2 on the normal light stand, again from the side, but that resulted in this big bright spot on the white wall, and I wanted to focus everything on the camera in the center and make it a bit more moody. So I put the light with the light dome on a C-stand to create a top-down lighting, which resulted in this shot, which I think is a huge upgrade and improvement from the first try. And of course I think I don't have to mention we turn all the ceiling lights off for this. So we start with spinning the FX6 on the tripod, and that was just a trial and error until the camera lands in the correct perfect spot. As you can see here, since the camera is so huge and heavy and I spun it with a lot of force, it kind of wiggled around, which is why I taped the tripod down to the ground even more. Maybe I should get a more heavy duty tripod for this big cinema camera. Now I spun the FX6 to the right, which I kept in mind for the DSLR camera, the old Canon 700D, which we're going to spin after that, because first we're going to see the DSLR camera, then it starts turning, and then it turns into the big FX6 camera, which eventually stops. So that means we have to reverse the clip from the DSLR camera, because of course we can't just make it start spinning with magic. We're just going to reverse the clip, which means we have to spin the DSLR camera in the other direction, so to the left. I hope that made sense. Anyway, so after we shot these two clips, we put them into After Effects and used effects like the liquify tool, turbulent displacement and displacement map with masks, RGB effects and a lot of keyframes to create this warp effect. Then I put it back into Final Cut for a grading, a slight zoom animation and the title animation. Next I picked up all the other shots, like putting on the camera lens and hitting the shutter button, and edited all the shots by syncing them to the jingle. And to make the shots of these intro flow better into each other, I used Ryan Nagle's smooth transition layers to connect them. Here I also tried to not just use a smooth transition without any sense, but use these transition layers to emphasize the movements I already had in the different clips. For example, in the zoom shot. Here I just turned on the Sony RX100 Mark V, which results in the camera moving out the lens. The first shot I did of this was just framing the camera in the center, pressing the on button and then quickly moving my hand out of frame to get the motion of the camera zoom, but then I did another shot which made the cut of the intro. Here I pushed the on button and then made a slight movement with the tripod to follow the zoom of the lens. In this case the camera movement was motivated by the lens zoom moving to the right. This is the unedited shot, and here it is emphasized with the smooth transition layers. The pack is also linked down below. And now here's the intro created from the jingle and all of the shots. Filmmaking Friday. That's it from this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to hit that like button and also consider subscribing right here for more videos just like this one. You can find the announcement video for the Filmmaking Friday series right here. You can find the jingle video from last week right here, and you can find the first episode of Filmmaking Friday once it's out right here. And I will hopefully see you in the next video. Goodbye.